Howdy, what's going on, everybody? I hope y'all are doing well. Thanks for joining me once again. And I know a lot of y'all have said the vertical format is really weird for you guys, and I get it. I don't like it as much as the horizontal. Unfortunately, the way my car's set up, if I turn it the other way, it starts getting in the way of my controls and shit. So I'll figure it out eventually, but for now, anyway, we'll do it vertically. In any case, today I want to talk about something that's relevant, and I think it bears repeating every couple of times a year, which is the need for PPE, personal protective equipment. I know there's some creators who I interact with pretty regularly. I won't say who, I'll let them talk about their own experiences, but folks are cleaning up after tornadoes, floods, California fires, all sorts of stuff. And a lot of this stuff, this guy almost ran into my car with his shopping cart. Stupid boy. Anyway, he doesn't know where he's parked. He's going through vehicles. In any case, and now his wife's scolding him. That's just awesome. Anyway, PPE, personal protective equipment. And I think this is important because as we get into these storm seasons, the spring storms and then hurricane season, which officially starts June 1st, not including the California fires and everything, you wind up after the event, and this is something we don't talk about enough. We talk about prepping for an event. We don't talk about the aftermath. When you have a hurricane, flood, tornado, and I've gone through the hurricanes and floods repeatedly, actually, not just once, you wind up with a lot of debris on the ground, sometimes debris that you cannot see. You cannot, because it's under mud, it's underwater. You have unseen dangers such as electrical power in the water. And then, of course, typically sanitation systems, water treatment plants get flooded. And the contaminants, the chemicals, the urine and feces, all that nasty shit that we flush down the toilet winds up on the streets in the form of flood water. And I don't think people pay enough attention to that. And so a couple of things you all need to think about. One, the most basic thing, or most important tool is our hands, right? So you need to have good work gloves, at a minimum gloves, leather or material gloves with a little rubber stippling so you can have texture for grabbing. I would recommend impact gloves that have the ridges on the back of the bones, where the bones would be, and on the knuckles. It kind of protects you more so than simply a regular mitt. I would also highly recommend eye protection, right? The most basic form is safety glasses. You can get goggles, you could get all sorts of different eye pro. That's important as well, because again, your two most important tools are your hands and your eyes, right? And those are often the ones that get hurt first. Is you get a hand or finger pinched in, or you get something in your eyes and you get hurt, and you only have two eyes and two hands, right? Additionally, your feet, that's what transports you around. You want to have good work boots. If you think things may fall on your feet, I would invest in a good quality steel-toed boot. There are a lot of types of boots that you can use. Red Wings are one of the more popular ones, but you can check them out. You could go to Sam's. The Walmart boots that I've seen are garbage. It's not even worth the money because you'll actually probably get hurt worse because the boot will fail. I would go to Minimum, to Academy, Target, or to Boot Barn or some of these other stores. I'll put some links in my Amazon shop as far as some boots I've used and recommend. But even if you don't have steel toes, just a good quality work boot that will protect you from sharp items and debris, that's great. Galoshes, if you think you're going to be in flood water, because you don't want to have your skin exposed to this chemical water mix. I know a few guardsmen wound up having to wade through this stuff to get out of their houses, to get to a safe area, get their family safe. And so they wound up putting their kids on kayaks with their dogs and belongings and walking the kayaks to a high ground area, and they both got sick. They wound up with infections because of the exposure to these, the nasty stuff. But hands, eyes, your feet, also work clothes, a good pair of blue jeans and a long sleeve shirt so you don't get chemicals, or God forbid you get a pile of fire ants on you. You can take a hoodie off pretty quick. You also may want to consider getting fire resistant or fire retardant, what they call FR clothing. if you're going to be working around anything that sparks, any kind of chemical, a generator, gasoline, stuff like that. Having a good set of personal protective equipment, again, the PPE, can go a long way. Ear protection's another one you may want to think about. And they're different types, right? Because you can have the impact gloves. If you're going to deal with chemicals, you probably want to get rubber gloves, because the chemical will go through the impact gloves, right? But the chemical gloves will not protect you from a pinch or a crush as much as the other gloves will. So being able to protect your hands, your eyes, your fingers, your feet, as well as your body in general, is super important. And if there may be falling debris, God forbid an earthquake, or you've had a tornado or a hurricane where tree limbs have fallen, there may be limbs that are planning to fall that have not fallen yet. You may want to consider a hard hat as well. A bump cap at a minimum, but a hard hat's even better. Yeah, you may look silly, you might look like Bob the Builder, but it's definitely a good idea. And of course, a high-vis vest or high-vis belt. Those of you who are runners or bikers or joggers may already have a reflective clothing. You may want to have that as well, if you're having to clear debris in the dark, that you don't get hit by somebody in a car. Also, if you're working with other people, they can see where you are. So if someone's using a crane, a bulldozer, or even a ATV trying to pull, you know, logs around, you can see one another and you know where everyone is. So anyway, and of course headlamps and other such lights. Folks, that's it for this one. This is a quick video just to remind you folks, look, your most important tools are the ones that are part of your body: your eyes, your feet, your ears, your fingers. Make sure you protect those, and that way you're in a good position to not only get through the problem, whatever it may be, but also get through the recovery in a safe way. That's it for this one, folks. God bless, Godspeed. You guys be careful out there. I will see you on my next video.